Oh, got my dog. That ain't the real Seymour Stacks. Get out of here. That ain't my dog. My dog would text me and tell me he was on here if that was the real deal Seymour Stacks. Stop using my dog's name, image, and likeness against his will. Anyways, what's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. And this is special edition BS post-practice clarity for those who are just trying to get some updates. Just everybody's clamoring for what's news, what's breaking. I'm not here to give any breaking news or do anything. Just, guys, I was there. I just had a great time. I've been in Tallahassee all weekend, celebrating my 40th birthday. I turned 40 on Friday. I had a book bag drive yesterday, and we did a recruiting update where we went to go watch the Seminoles showcase yesterday. Some great high school athletes and players were in attendance and had a good time, got active. And today was my first practice that I've gotten a chance to go watch. I'll go see them in Jacksonville when they come home, or to my new home. And, we'll get a chance to see all those other different things. We would have done this update earlier, but I had my 5th annual football camp out at FAMU DRS. So I had a good time out there at practice as well as my camp. And I want to say special shout out to DJ Lundy and Rob Scott for coming out, hanging out, and impacting the future Knowles and future great athletes in the city of Tallahassee. We had some good kids out there. Special thanks to the coaching staff of FAMU DRS for helping orchestrate the camp. Thank you to Christie's Sports and Philanthropy for doing all of the stuff with that, to help with that. Adrian was there. Lisa, you guys know Adrian and Lisa from the tailgates. They were there. My boy CJ Wilson was not only at practice with me, he was also at my camp getting after it. It was hot. It hadn't rained. Like I said, it was good times. And the thing I'll say about practice today and what I was hoping to see is violence. And they got active. One of my favorite quotes, it wasn't from this past spring, it was 2 springs ago, which ironically, that was the year that, I tell you guys stuff, and I'm not trying to be overly positive. That's not my MO. I just want to be overly real. And when I say that, I say that meaning that, if I see something that I like, I see something that I like. If I don't like it and I think it's not a good product, then I won't tell you that it's a good product. I don't want to exaggerate, don't want to lie, but I do remember Coach Andrews saying something to the effect of, when I coached and when I played, you knew when inside drills were, you could be blind and find where the D line and the O line were getting after it and getting active. Well, I'll say you could definitely hear the pads popping today. You can definitely hear guys, again, like I said, getting active. I enjoyed the violence that was at practice in particular. I enjoyed the competition that was at practice. It was a lot of iron sharpening iron. So if you're looking for, like, if you have questions, if you're in the chat, if you're here on the YouTube channel, feel free to ask. I will get you. If you're on the Twitter, come on to YouTube. Again, we'll take the points. But I'm not gonna really go into, like, again, I get more credit on the YouTube than I do on the Twitter. But if you're looking for injury updates, that's not my job. I'll never speak on any of those things. I will, but what I will just tell you is the guys that I saw that were really, really good. And if you ask for an opinion, I'll give an opinion within reason, without trying to. I don't want to ever be disrespectful to guys who are actually getting there. Actually, Fatal Jedi, shout out to Fatal Jedi. Which actually, while I'm doing this, guys, I want to make mention. I have 70. It says show 70, but I'm not quite at. I'm a little past that. We have 5,937 subscribers to DIN Media Group. We're trying to get to 6,000. Once we get to 6,000, we will give away $500 to a lucky listener of Big Games BS. After we get to, we'll also give $100 to a member, and we'll also give the amount of likes at the end of the show. One of the things we want to do by the end of the year is be at 10,000 members. If somehow we're at 10,000 members before football season, we will give away a pair of season tickets to your favorite game, to your favorite team. Currently, we have 112 members. My goal would be have 500 members. So that's the greenie. So, like, if you look in the chat, Adrian's a greenie. Fatal Jedi, my guy, is an all-in member. He has been an all-in member, I believe, since the beginning. And my guy got a brick. He got some hats. So I got some more things for him. I'm going to hook up my guys. But all-in members, you get to experience things the way that I experience. So, like, if you want to go to, if you're in New Orleans this year, as long as you're an all-in member through football season, you get a chance to go experience the Super Bowl the way I experienced the Super Bowl. You can come to the combine, and a lot of times the combine is about linking. But if you can link with me at the combine, we'll definitely try to get you on some pregame sideline passes to the FSU games. If you want to go to the Gator Bowl, I got you on the Gator Bowl. The Gator Bowl, I can give you all kind of fucking access to the Gator Bowl, man. So being a member for that. But again, my goal is the all-in experience is for you to experience football the way that I do. But he asked, how is the unit field communication? You can kind of see Mike talking on it, but I didn't really get a chance to like tune in on that. That's something that I will probably try to ask a little bit more when they come to Jacksonville, when I'm able to spend more time with them, because I'm home and I'm not having a football camp. So, like, my reason of being in Tallahassee wasn't to cover FSU. It just coincided because most of the years they don't start camp until this weekend. So I'm leaving, but this they had camp a little early because they're playing in Dublin. So that's a cool thing. But I took some notes myself. So if you have questions about fall camp and some of the other different things, feel free to hit me up about that. Out the gate, and I talked to our illustrious athletic director, Mike Alford, at camp. I also got a chance to meet Solomon Thomas's mom. Solomon Thomas's mom was very nice lady. They treated her like the queen that she deserves to be treated. She was talking to everybody. I'll joke. She's a very Christian lady. She's part of AME Church and all that other stuff. She got the low haircut, so you guys know what low haircuts mean. Anybody knows black women with low haircuts, you guys know that. If you don't know, you need to become a member of Big Games BS, and we can help you learn African American culture vernacular as white, Spanish, and other cultures come in and teach each other. We grow together. We're e pluribus unum on this podcast right here. Good point, Fatal J. Also, all-in members get access to the tailgates. They don't have to pay for tailgates. They've already paid for the right to be that as well. The first thing I noticed when I went out there is they're a bigger team. Across the board. Bigger, more physical. The offensive line in general, and I bring up Solomon's mom. Shout out to, again, that is Seymour Sack. Here's something that I know, I'm going to explain Seymour to people. Obviously, he's very competitive and very bombastic, bravado. Nothing wrong with that. We got to start addressing the trenches, and we do need to start recruiting at the levels in which Georgia and others do. We have to recruit at an elite level. That being said, the way we've used the transfer portal and the way Josh Storms is developing these guys, I don't know. Like, we had Josh Petty's a 5-star lineman. Solomon Thomas is a 5-star lineman. I'm looking at 5-star linemen that would not come in and compete and play with us day one. And they're 5-star linemen because they lack the mass that everybody else has up and down on that offensive line. Now, that's a big, far and away change from what I saw 4 years ago. I remember 4 years ago, 2021 season. So we get 21, 22, 23. Yep, 4 years ago. My son came to the Jacksonville practice with me. And he asked a question. The question that I tweeted out that went viral. Rival fan bases used it. It was fun. It was the truth. People who tell the truth, drunks, old people, and babies. My son asked, Daddy, am I watching a high school team or is this a college team? And my son had seen, elite high school teams. I covered the Jags, so he's been to Jags practices. He's seen those guys. And he's seen other colleges, and he was just confused with what we were looking at. We lack the size. And that's just the truth. But now, ain't no confusing it. Those are large mammals walking to and fro on the football field. If you listen to me, you asked me about recruiting. One of the things I always joke about, especially in terms of Ron Dugans, is Dugans got a type. Tall, lanky, fast, explosive receivers. We got a lot of those over there. The quarterbacks, DJU is huge. Luke Kromenhoek is a big boy. The running backs, Cam Davis is big. Roydell, my boy Lawrence Toafili's been eating snacks. The tight ends, Kyle Murlock looked a little bit bigger. We talked about Super Trooper mustache, Jackson West. Amari Williams. Amari Williams, 240, guys. That boy's supposed to be getting ready for his senior year in high school. You look at Daryl Jackson, Josh Farmer. I wonder if I can go find this. again, a lot of you guys didn't come up the way that I came up. So you don't really know about Ren and Stimpy and the twins on Ren and Stimpy. That's big ass boys. And I don't want to say this because they don't look bad or anything. They don't necessarily look identical to this. Like, they ain't ugly. You know what I'm saying? They just some big boys. Shoot. Dang, I was trying to find just a picture. Don't want to see the don't need the audio. Bottom line is this some big ass motherfuckers, man. I was gonna try to find it. I don't want to put this up there the wrong way, but big. Samson is a guy who I told you guys where I got a chance to meet him a few years ago when he was being recruited. His dad, he's gonna get bigger. His dad is huge. Samson looked good. Like, again, I'm just telling across the board, DBs. Pat Surtain got a type, tall, long, fast, can run. The linebacker from Auburn, Cam, big. The person who doesn't look big anymore is DJ Lundy. So DJ Lundy, you out here looking closer to D-Lo than you do looking closer to D-Lo than you did than you do what you used to look like. Big guy. Still big guy though. So that was the first initial thing that one will see from this Florida State team when they come out. They're a large football team that's finally looking like, you know, they could go in and compete day in and day out. Very much so enjoy it. More physical. Hold on, I'm trying to get some stuff with my book bag draw squared away. Give me 1 second. Yeah, much more physical. That's why I was saying started off with discussing about how you can hear the practice one-on-ones, extremely, extremely physical, getting after it. Who else? I'm trying to like give you a idea of how it's just once you really look at it, you kind of get an understanding of why we may or may not. So people are looking at our class, right? So let's say we do sign only 20 high school kids and we hit the rest in the portal. Imagine a world where your floor is is blue chip prospects. Because right now we're 12-to-1 blue chip ratio. But imagine a world where you got your floor is blue chip prospects, and you're bringing in college guys as opposed to just bringing in 3-star guys with heart. Not saying that you don't want 3-star guys, but I'm just kind of just prepping you guys just to get you to think in a different mindset. You'll see a college team that's fast. Something that's funny too. Again, speaking of transfer portal guys, Ja'Kai Douglas and his brother Jalen Lucas, the banter they have going back and forth is funny, especially when they were doing punt. Ja'Kai is trying to come down as being like a gunner, being on punt. He's going up in his brother's face and just saying this and things like that. Another initial thing that I looked at, we flipped the O-lineman. The O-lineman we flipped from USC. He looks good right now. Jonathan Daniels, by the way, people. Jonathan Daniels was a petite little thing. Like, Jonathan Daniels looks the part now. Like, I couldn't see it as much when he was being recruited. And I don't know. I didn't watch him on the reps. I'm just watching like to get off the bus at the beginning. This is my notes from the beginning of practice. And he has filled out since he has gotten there. So that, again, that shout out to Joshua Storms. Shane Brown is like doing that thing where he blocks extra points. It's crazy. Again, just competition from the onset of practice. It was very interesting to see from the onset of practice the way the bar was raised and how guys were getting after it and were doing stuff. They went from that, went to one-on-ones. I'm gonna say this. Fintrell Cypress will be this year's version of Jerry Jones. And I say that because a lot of y'all wrote off Jerry Jones as a guy who wasn't that guy. I remember a lot of people talking real big greasy shit about Jerry Jones. I didn't know yay or nay until I got a chance to talk with the greatest cornerback to ever play at Florida State. It's T-Buck. And T-Buck coached him. And T-Buck said that Jerry Jones is an NFL caliber guy. And he turned out to be right, and he's making noise with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I cover. Fintrell Cypress got a lot of hate last year for a lot of things that were not his fault. I've had people argue with me, people pick on him. But when I tell you I thought he was good last year. He has stepped his game up to a whole nother level this year. And he is just as good, if not arguably better at times than what I saw from AZ. And I think AZ is a first-round draft pick at corner. I want to say this. Me bigging up somebody is not a distraction from anybody else on the team. I'm just talking about things that stood out to me as I was sitting there watching. And Fintrell Cypress is that guy. You'll see him get he should be on the Project Takeaway or Mission Takeaway from for Coach Fuller if he's not up there already. But he had some really, really good things. Elwin Joseph is getting better, but I saw Darian Williamson got a chance to really compete with him. He got the better of him a couple of times. Elijah Moore is everything that everybody has written about him. I'll give the beat props. They've been bragging about him. He's really, really good. Elijah Moore went against Charles Hester a few times, who I see Dupree Hundo puts is Charles. I see Charles Lester has had some weight gain as well. Charles Lester is getting really getting big, and he's getting better at man coverage. You can still see he needs to get comfortable, still getting some reps. I liked it. Rawls, again, so Joseph Rawls, trying to think who else. Yeah, Joseph and Rawls are doing pretty good, are doing okay, getting good, but you saw the wide receivers beat them the few times that I was watching. Ja'Kai Douglas is great in and out of his reps. Gianna Vassalo, even more outperform Hakeem. No, not at all. Again, me bigging up one person isn't knocking down somebody else. It's just me noticing. Again, I'm noticing at some point during the practice, hey, wow, I noticed this person did this. Moore has Charles Lester beat at one play, but he dropped it. Ricky Knight is a guy who's battling. It's incredible how good and how deep our secondary is going to be and how much better they're going to keep getting year after year. And one of the things that people keep saying is our wide receiver room. I don't think people are acknowledging just how good our DBs are. Quindarius Jones, Ventrell Cypress again, Malik Benson really stood out to me on the day for the most part. Amari Williams is playing tight end so well right now. I don't see them letting him get on the other side of the ball. I think it's going to be him and the Landon Thomas show for the entirety of the time that they're there. LaWayne McCoy did some things. He wasn't going as he had some things, some issues. I know Marvin Jones Jr., a couple other guys. What happens is during camp, you'll see guys get pulled out and they'll do more back and forth as guys are pushing it and getting better. They know who's who and what's what. Something that I was talked to about that I thought was really, really interesting. And again, it goes back to the amount of talent that we have. And one of the things that I always said, there's no school, there's no program in NC2A that has 85 cats. You may have 50 to 60. And really all you need 55 guys to stay healthy and be dogs, because that's what you're going to legitimately roll through during the football season. Debriano, without a doubt. McCoy is what Vendravius Jacobs was supposed to be. I think Vendravius could have been there. I think he just didn't, Now everybody wants to wait their turn. But they're so deep that right now they have the guys who they feel like they're ones and twos, but then they're having a young guy scrimmage, and they're getting guys exponentially more reps as opposed to just having guys sit around and wait, which I think is great in the development. So, like, I got a chance to watch Luke, Luke, Amari, Makai, some of the younger receivers, some of the younger DBs, D tackles. They were all getting some work on the outside field while other guys were getting that work in the indoor. And it was just beautiful to see that much football being played. And now you, as a coach, you've got so much more film that you can watch. And you're not wasting time by just, all right. Now, while you may be able to coach your older guys up in real time because those are the guys that you're going to need to get in the battle right away, you still got your younger guys that are getting something. So now when you go to the meeting rooms, you have more film to break down, which I thought was cool. But let me tell you about Luke, man. Luke's control and command of the offense, for him to be a true freshman, is pretty good. Like it's good. Like he's going to scare off some guys in the transfer portal if they try to go get a quarterback. I'm not saying they are. I don't really know. I mean, obviously they got my guy Tramel, but like you'll have next year after DJU leaves, you'll have a redshirt sophomore, potentially a redshirt freshman, 2 redshirt freshmen, and a true freshman in your quarterback room. That only works on the video game. You need to go get another upperclassman if to do nothing else but provide experience points and be able to help with the coaching as well as push and pursue for the starting job, because that's kind of what you want. You're trying to get better. Now, regardless of if you lose somebody or not, or however you guys feel, that may work. But you do need to make sure you have some depth. But yeah, Luke is nice. Makai Danzy running routes out of the backfield is a cheat code. He's explosive. The biggest mismatch on the field is a running back on a linebacker. And having this happen with a guy who happens to have world-class track speed is a dope experience. I think it's really, really cool. I saw Brock throw a bomb to Keem, even though I think it might have been a sack, but Keem did some stuff. Let me tell you again, in the Fuller defense, he's able to blitz guys from home, which means you're blitzing guys for depth. So you got a safety let's say you got 2 high safety, and you're seeing that, and then all of a sudden when the ball snapped, that 2 high safety is gone. He's coming to get you. And they're able to get home from depth, which is impossible to block for. Like, you can't hold on to the ball. So, yeah, there's that. So it was kind of cool to see that they've got tons of speed between them. All their DBs are fast. So I thought that was great. So like Deontay Kincaid, why was Myron Charles at the UN barbecue? I don't know, man. It's Miami, dog. Like, where would you rather be at, Tallahassee or South Beach right now? The end of the summer before you go to camp. I mean, I go to, I'm not mad at nobody going to South Beach. There's no indications that he's flipping, but who knows? But going back to football, Danzy is extremely fast. Dupree Hundo, big game so far. Who's your starting receivers? My starting receivers would be Keem, Benson, and Megamon. Those are my three right there. Landon Thomas, just didn't see much of him today. So I can't talk about a guy who I didn't see. So I've seen him enough in the spring to know that he's a phenom and that he's really, really good. Again, I want you guys to realize a compliment of one player is not an indictment on the other player. It just happens to be. I think they're both. I think you're going to have two tight end sets here in the coming years that are going to be crazy and insane. But yeah, so Samson to me would be like and I told people this was going to happen. You're going to be three deep at D tackle position. Lions is pretty good, but Lions and Samson is going to be a group that's better than what people think. And you just got to keep developing. Just got to keep getting some guys out there. I did know that the big white boy was okay. He's not Fisk right now, but even Fisk wasn't Fisk when we started the season. Fisk really came on that latter half of the season. But Farmer and Jackson are crazy. They're destroying people. Jalen Lucas getting his reps at tailback. I like to see him get reps at slot too. All I saw him was in the backfield. Tua broke some big runs. Richie Leonard that's a good get we got right there, man. Richie Leonard's athletic, he's strong, did very, very well. A lot of people got reps on the line, so they're mixing up and putting. I saw, Armella got a lot of reps. Look great at times. You saw Byers going from tackle to guard, getting a lot of different reps. We got to shore up that second string center a little bit more. Darius Williams looked really good. I didn't see TJ Ferguson was dressed. I just didn't notice. I didn't notice him. So, like I said, I don't want anybody to be startled or alarmed by that. I just didn't notice him. So, I hope Byers plays more physical. I think him at guard, I saw him putting paws on somebody. He was doing really good. I think just putting him more comfortable, putting him inside is more comfortable. Andrew Ryan said you were hype on Fisk this time last year. I was. I saw the potential, but Fisk didn't really become as good as we knew him come into the back half of the season, which is something that I think can happen with Grady, as well as like another guy who I think will become better as he sees and he experiences more speed and explosiveness would be the offensive lineman from Harvard. I think he needs to just see more reps. Keandre Jones, just didn't notice him a lot. Won't speak on anything more than that. I think Keandre will be fine. Again, guys have more volume days. Some guys have higher volume days than others. It just depends on camp. Camp's a long, long way out. My thoughts on the quarterback, again, I like Luke. DJU gets the ball out a lot faster than what people give him credit for, and the offense is consistently moving with DJU at quarterback. People like him, don't like him. Not here to argue about those things, just my observations on what I saw. And DJU is trying to to push the ball down the field. Dourget got some looks at D tackle, and he's pretty damn good there. Pretty comfortable looking at D tackle. I liked it. I liked what I saw with him. Brock threw a dime to Poirier too. He dropped it, man. It's crazy. And I keep trying to tell people, let me tell you guys again, the Gospel of James, DJU. 3-1 touchdown to interception ratio. 3-1 touchdown to interception ratio. 3-1 touchdown to interception ratio. If we can get him, because he's thrown 7 interceptions the last 2 years, if I remember correctly. If we can chop that down to 5 interceptions and 5 more touchdowns, we're cooking with Crisco. Stop. We don't need to worry about what everybody else is saying. I got a chance to look at their when they went to one-on-one pass rush. It was great competition, man. I like Lucas Simmons, like some of the reps I saw with Lucas Simmons. Again, I think what's crazy about our offensive line is they said they're 8. I think they're being modest and they're getting caught up in seeing what they're seeing every day. And sometimes you tend to be a little harsher on those guys. I'm looking at a 10 deep offensive line. So basically, your ones and twos are pretty good, and you can rotate guys, have swing linemen in there the entire time. With some body types that are coming in. And it's just, again, it's like, I just think this team is deeper in key places that is going to allow other position groups to be able to come along at whatever pace they need to come at. In particular, I believe the offensive line and the running backs, there's so much depth, there's so much talent there. Everybody got a chance to break a long run. Sam Singleton broke a long run. Tua broke a long run. Cam Davis broke a long run. Roy Williams broke a long run. And again, you saw a lot of stuff. You also saw, like I said, Mekhi Danzy in the passing game, Jalen Lucas in the passing game. You saw guys do a lot of different things that just were really, really good because you have so much depth and strength there. And it was an iron sharpening iron type of battle. And I'm going through more of the one-on-ones right now. Mo Smith, you guys got to get that hate out of your heart. That man has been a starter, and nobody's been able to take his position for a reason. That guy is fundamentally sound, and he's a little thicker now, so he's going to be fine. But being able to snap the ball, saw him control Farmer a couple times. That's a man-sized block. That's a tough road to hoe. Julian Armello, I think somebody put, is he better on the outside? Is he better on the inside? I'm going to say he's better on the inside because Armello really relies on his strength. And sometimes it goes away from his technique, which against us, that hurts. And you saw him, win some, lose some, but he's clearly getting better each day. As I said, the Harvard guy, once he gets used to the speed, pace, and the strength of what we got going on, he's gonna get better. Darius Washington versus Patrick Payton is like watching two NFL guys battle at each other. They were kind of going back and forth. I think Rob Scott, shout out, he was at my camp today. Rob Scott is battling just not having played enough recently. Once he gets over that, he has full faith in that knee. He's going to keep looking better. And if somebody had to ask me, I would prefer him at the right tackle spot while we have Washington at that left tackle spot. And hopefully Rob just continues to get better. But like Rob, these guys are massive, man. And just the line is big. You had guys like Suzuki, like his dad, both his dad, his Uncle Joe and his dad Henry both played at Florida State. You got there was another guy. Again, they split these guys up, more ready-made guys versus the guys who got to get better. Like you're seeing the reps come in. Another guy that I saw early is pretty damn good against the bull rush. So a couple guys tried to bull rush him. He was able to stall him, set his feet, things of that nature. Again, my note was these commits aren't going to play right away unless they come in and Storms gets him that good stuff. Marvin Jones wasn't as active today for me to say he had a big day. Again, when it went to team, Keem opened up with a really big play. Luke works with a lot of the twos. Cam took a stretch play to the house. When he gets moving, he's big. That's somebody that you're just not trying to step in and tackle like that. I really think we have some special backs with a lot of home run hitting ability. The last practice that I saw, and I love this, they got third down is the money down. So it's the cash drill. I'll say this, when the money was on the table, our defense's antennas increased, and those boys was out there making sure that they played up to a level. And our guys, the key word, if you're looking for something in the first 5 games of the season, and this is why I love the structure of the schedule. We play good teams, quality teams, but nobody that has more talent than us yet, or any other teams that should lend us the best competition. That comes in November with your Miami, Clemson in October, and Notre Dame, I believe, right after we play Miami, if I remember correctly. But we have Georgia Tech, Boston College, Memphis, and then SMU right after that? That's really good. Really good stretch of quality teams, but just not those teams that are loaded with the blue chip talent. Because I'm going to tell you the key word, the key phrase of what we need. Confidence. We need competence, but more important than competence is we need confidence. Because I appreciate that, Peter Shields. We do have Cal in there as well. Because one of the things, Ja'Kai dropped the watch. Ja'Kai hit him right in the chest. He tried to catch it with his body. He catches it with his hands. It's a touchdown. It's not just a first down. But we got to drop. Defense made some clamps. We had Danzy on a wheel route. Then when you got the confidence that you know you're going to make a play, the competence comes out. And having an understanding of where you're at on the field with coaching of the confidence comes to the next level. And I think that's what we need on both sides of the ball. At linebacker, I think you're going to, again, so when we look at these teams, the 2 weaknesses on both sides of the ball that people will suggest that we're at. Linebacker will be the weakness on the defense. Wide receiver will be the weakness on the offense. And it really isn't, it's not a lack of talent. It's a lack of guys who are confident that they can go out and make the play because they've got a resume of experience in making the plays. Whereas I think as the season goes on, we will see that from these position groups where guys feel, okay, I'm going to be able to go out here and make something happen. And it brings me back to last year. We were so successful last year, and we still never answered the question. Now, it kind of answered the question with Keon Coleman. But Keon was so up and down on the season. He dropped the ball a lot, and he didn't play some games. But we knew Jordan Travis was. Right now, we don't have a Jordan Travis. We don't have a Keon Coleman or a Johnny Wilson. We don't have a Trey Benson. And the casual fan can't go out here and name me 5 offensive linemen. Not you guys. The casual fan can't go out here and name me 5 offensive linemen. And why do I say the casual fan? When I talk with my one of my mentors and one of the no greats, Kes McCorvey, James, who are the guys whose jersey you would buy your son right now? And that's really when you come down and you know you have those cats. We got to find those cats. And I think those cats are going to show themselves earlier in the season. Right now, we don't know the Peter Wark. We don't know the Kes McCorvey. We don't know the Leon Washington. We don't know those guys because those guys left last year. Had Keon Coleman come back, you know you had Keon Coleman to rely on. Had Johnny Wilson come back, you know you had Johnny Wilson to rely on. We don't have those guys as of right now, but those guys are on the roster. They're clearly on the roster. We just have to get that about them. I like the speed and the difference that, like, when you look at the kid from Auburn at linebacker, I was talking to my brother CJ Wilson about just when you're dropping back. And I was using an example from arena football of a guy by the name of Charlie Hunt. Charlie Hunt Jr. was a walk-on when I was at Florida State. His father was one of the original 4 African Americans to play at Florida State. Now, Charlie Hunt Jr. played for the Jacksonville Sharks. He played the jack position, which is a position that dropped back into coverage. It did not rush. Charlie was 6'5". He changed the trajectory of the pass because, obviously, arena, boom, with the ball quick pass. You could not throw it quick in the direction that Charlie was at because he's 6 foot. You had to throw it over him. So I think that's where Cam Riley is going to give us a benefit is he's going to change the trajectory of passes where he's either going to bat him down or he's going to be able to get some interceptions, which I think make you better. Now, Juice Cryer, Blake Nicholson, a lot of those guys watching them in the drills. The South Carolina linebacker that a lot of you guys didn't like that because he was a 3-star, but he's got pretty decent film. Like there's some guys there, and you got to just get out of your mind that Randy has to have the 4 and 5 star. I would love nothing more than Randy to get some of these guys. I like Tavian Wallace. I hope we're still in it for him. I like a lot of these guys, but it is what it is. Randy got a type. If Randy's developing these guys and they're going to go to the league, who cares? And I think DJ Lundy's more athletic. But I think right now when we're starting with linebackers, you're definitely going to have DJ Lundy. He's going to be one of them. And I probably think it'll end up being Cam Riley got some reps with the 2s. But I think it's going to be either a Blake or one of the older guys. I think it'll be Murphy. I don't think Murphy is as lost as a lot of other people suggest. I think a lot of that stuff people are kind of regurgitating what the coaches are, not necessarily coaches, what somebody might be telling them. And I'm just purely looking off of what I see out there. And I think they're going to be fine. Luis puts Primo. We got a few recruits coming up. What are your thoughts? I like our chances with Petty. And from Ozempic, Scott is down is coming to his top 2. I think we'll be in there. I think we get one of those running backs that because I think that's what Coach Yak wants. I think we get those guys. It'll be nice if we could get Byron Lewis, but I think we'll get at least one of the running backs. And I personally think this class is going to be over 20 people. Anybody? So right now, that's basically my rundown of practice. I was pretty impressed, man. I was extremely impressed, and I can't wait to see these guys more in action, and can't wait to see these guys more in action as well as really get to the season. I think this team is going to shock some folks, and I think they're going to like it. So, yeah. Anthony Gregg put Cromon more of a finesse guy or a power guy. I think he's more of I would say you're saying finesse. I would describe it more as an explosive guy, but I think that's more of his steez. Yeah, that would be my my thought process on that. So if anybody else has any other questions about the season, I saw nothing that did not make me hopeful. Like I'm I just said I really liked it. I liked the competition. I liked the fact that they were all getting after it. I hope nothing more than I hope they just. I'm just ready for the season to start, man. Somebody put, where's the pregame party in Dublin? I have no idea, but I do know if you're in the Jacksonville area and you want to come to Goodfellas, we'll be having a watch party before I go out and go coach my son's football game. Jordan Davis, let's go big game, James. Anthony said he missed the first part. Is the offensive line good? Anthony, the best way I can sum that up is a pig's pussy pork. If you know what if a pig's pussy is pork, then yes. Who looks like the top 2 punt returners? I would go with Jalen Lucas and Malik Benson as our 2 punt returners currently. Yeah, a bunch of different guys going at. Kendra Harrison. Who is Kendra Harrison? You gotta help me out with those. I'm not the biggest on recruiting unless somebody tells me. Basketball player? Oh man, I'm not give a damn about. We sacrificed basketball. Andre, man, don't come on here talking about no goddamn basketball, man. One, SB Productions, don't come asking fucking questions. You could have seen all that shit on your own. You had brought your ass down here to come videotape my damn book back here. Oh, he's a basketball player and tight end. Okay. Gotcha. Damn, that stinks. He's going to North Carolina. Well, yeah, I don't know if we can get both of them. Damn, that's tough. Murlock looked good. Oh, yeah, Murlock was catching passes today. Just blocking, blocking leaves something to the imagination. He gotta get better. Did I say Amari can block pretty good? Amari can block, man. That was crazy. Jaylen Brown, Mr. Wonderful asked, what does Jaylen Brown look at wide receiver? Very explosive, very dynamic. One of the things that we just got to get, one of the things I can't wait for our wide receiver group to do is just get, like, every time we throw it, it's going to be a catch. Like, but sometimes they'll drop one, but then the next one, boom, you'll hear it, man. You'll hear the love for it. Anthony Gregory asks, is Amari playing tight end? He's playing tight end instead of defensive end. And I'm not gonna lie, boy is amazing at tight end right now. That shit just, like, I was impressed with his willingness to get down and dirty and blocking. And he can still catch and he's still fast. I'm curious to what he looks like at defensive end now. I'll tell you this. I'm not sure he cracked the 2-man at defensive end, but man, he is good. And we need to be talking about, instead of talking about missing on Blunt, we need to talk about how we flipped the number 1 athlete in the class of 2025 to early enroll and come in 2024. Marvin Jones, didn't see him much, so can't give you J-Fly904, can't give you an accurate description of what he looked like. He looks like a motherfucking beast, though. So I know that. I know he can play. I saw him in the spring. SB Productions, did Rob Scott look good? Did he get reps at right tackle or guard? He looked good. He's getting better. He got reps at left tackle and right tackle. Gabriel, how would you describe Bryson Wright, who just got an offer, a FSU offer? You got to listen to yesterday's show where I basically was about him. I have never seen anything in my life like Bryson Wright. The comparable that I have to Bryson Wright, I do not want to say this because it scares me to say this. Bryson Wright is 6'3", 205 right now. I believe he'll be 6'6" when it's all said and done, probably 220, 230. He runs a 4.5 right now. He'll probably run close to a 4.3 when he's done. The closest thing I've ever seen is Megatron and Calvin Johnson. And I don't want to say that, but I am looking at potentially the number 1 prospect in the class of 2028. Not the number 1 wide receiver, the number 1 overall prospect. And the kid is really good in basketball as well. Family loves Florida State. We can't mess that up. Gianni put Boots 45. Does he still need another year to get bigger? I think Boots is going to be fine. I think Boots will be a lot like Byron Turner. He's a guy that when he comes on, he'll come on. And I think people got to stop trying to rush folks out. I think he's going to be good. I like Boots. Boots has it in his blood. I didn't really see him, and then I didn't have my crew with me, so on 3-6 wasn't on staff, wasn't out there today. Soon enough, on 3-6 will be there, and we'll have more video, more people who can pour more stuff. But as one guy, I can only watch so much. Who ran with the ones at right guard today? Richie Leonard was with the ones, but I think he was at left guard, if I remember correctly. Armello was at right guard. Yeah, Armello was at right guard. Richie was at left guard. Mo was at center. Darius was at left tackle. Right tackle was Byers for much of it, and they mixed the match, move guys around. The guys look good. I think there'll be there'll be more. I didn't see TJ play like once they get like, so I went to go watch went to watch one-on-ones and how they do it. They line up the 5 guys and then they rotate guys back and forth. I just noticed some of the plays, like they're moving guys out. I think they're going to put guys in different periods throughout the fall camp. And you'll see TJ. I think TJ Ferguson is going to be a guy that's going to be in the fold once they really get everything right to where it needs to be at. I think they want to get different looks, especially with their top two. They're too deep. They want to see guys in different scenarios, different looks. It's early on in camp. It's not just that here's our starting 5. They're going to go all the time. Also, guys get little nicks and bruises, and sometimes they need to hold them out. I do know Mike's talked about this numerous times throughout his years. Basically, it's basically load management. That's not what they call it, I don't think. But guys get in at different times, and I don't think you can really nail down who the starters are. I can just tell you who I saw, and what I saw was the offensive line looked good a lot more than they did. Who do you think starts opposite Shaheem? I believe it will be the starter will be Husty, more than likely. I did like, I can't think of his name. The JUCO guy will be a junior next year, I think. That secondary is crazy. I even saw some plays. I believe Brown, the young man from Miami. I even saw stuff. Not Parkland. Kirkland made some plays though. But a lot of guys doing a lot of good things, man. Really enjoyed it. Great practice. Barker is who I was looking for. Thank you. Ashlyn Barker is who I was looking for. He's a good-looking boy, man. Good-looking guy, Ashlyn. Yeah, man. All in all, for it to be practice, I enjoyed it. So, yeah. Any other questions? Well, if there's no more questions, man, I appreciate you guys coming in and taking it in with me while I just share my thoughts on practice. Love that I'm excited about my Noles. I think that they're going to be fun. I think it's going to be a fun year, and I hope everybody's prepared to just kick some ass, man. And starting off in Dublin, so that was just my first impressions here. I'll have my second impressions coming up very soon, very shortly. When I see these guys in Jacksonville and spend some time, I'm going to try to go watch some film with Coach Yak. I talked to him today. I really wish I would have took advantage of that yesterday, but I didn't. I didn't know I could, but now that I know I can, I do want to watch film just to see how he explains and breaks things down. Because again, I don't like talking from. I talk about stuff that I think I know or from what I do, but I like getting feedback and talking to these guys and learning more about what's going on. So it's very dope, very transparent coaching staff. My job is not to take anybody else's job. My job is to provide context and understanding, as I do with recruiting and with the recruits that I know, and as I do with the knowledge. It's not just about reporting and things. Everybody has the right. I saw something with Derek Jeter, and it spoke volumes. You can be knowledgeable about something, but you're not an expert. You're only an expert if you're knowledgeable and you have experience doing what you're speaking about. That's what expert means. It's knowledge and experience so that you can give the wisdom, give a perspective from wisdom. That's all I'm interested in doing when it comes to covering Florida State. I'm not a beat writer. I'm just a guy who went to Florida State. That's my alumni, and I love my school. My job is to make sure that as a fan base, we're discussing things from a more educational standpoint and that we know things. So whether you follow it or not, the information is out there. And I always want to tell people, when you're faced with information that is contrary to what you believe, but can be proven and documented, it is up to you to change your mind. And it's okay to change your mind. Don't be bullheaded. Don't just believe the bullshit. Right now, Florida State is looking pretty good. You have every reason to be excited. But I'll say this. There are two P's in this world that can either bless men or destroy men. One of them is pussy. It's really good. It's a really good P. It can help you out, or that P can drive you down. Or potential. All potential is great to have, but all potential means is that you ain't done shit. So with that note, you guys have a wonderful Sunday. High school football starts this week. For those of us who are coaching, good luck to those. And for those who are just like in football, we're far away. I'm going to flood your timeline with shit that I've been doing from a football camp. So I got one more still taking people who want to raise money for the Jacksonville one. And also we have a lot of shit going down, going down the pipe this season, man. So please support, subscribe, become a member, all of that shit. Love you guys. Until next time, appreciate you chopping up with me.